Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Jesse Boats from the 19th hole, and I've got a tournament info video for you all today. This is the next up-and-coming tournament, which is going to start on Monday, May 27th, and it is going to be called the Skyline Cup Tournament. And this tournament will take place over the normal week. This is a regular tournament, not a mini tournament. So it'll open up with qualification rounds starting on Monday. You have 3 days to qualify. Each round consists of 1 day, so if you don't qualify on 1 day, you can try the next day, and if you don't qualify again, you do have a third chance to qualify. Do keep in mind, each time you try to qualify, you do have to repay the entry fee, which does change depending on what level of play that you are entering. So keep that in mind. If you do qualify, then you will move on to the opening round starting on Thursday, and that is Thursday and Friday. You have 48 hours to complete 18 holes. If you can finish in the top 50% of your bracket for that, then you move on to the weekend round, which is Saturday and Sunday. Again, you have 48 hours to complete those 18 holes. So these are the division breakdowns. You got rookie, pro, expert, masters level. These are also the prizes that go along with each division below. As you can see, the different banners are different colors, representing each separate division. Each division wins balls and club cards. Those prizes do grow, as you move up to the divisions, and then also, you do win the regular tour chest as you're playing each individual hole during any portion of the tournament. Rookie receives tour 3 chests, pro receives tour 6 chests, expert tour 9, and then masters tour 12. And these chests actually are a little bit better than the ones you receive on tour play. I think you get a little bit more as far as club cards go in each of the chests involved. So the next screen we have here is the actual rules breakdown for each of the divisions. As you can see, the rookie division plays from the front tee, pro and expert divisions play from the second tee, and then the masters divisions play from the third tee. You will also notice that the winds do change depending on what division you play, and also the needle speed increase does change. So the higher you go up, the faster that needle speed increase adjusts. The only other difference as far as the rules go here is the hidden spin, which is only will only affect you in expert and masters play. So at that point, you will not be able to see your opponent's spin adjustments and their ball guide. If you're playing in the rookie or the pro, though, you still will be able to see all of that, the data and information. Okay, so these are the holes that we're going to be playing here for the Skyline Cup. It's basically made up of 3 different different courses. You got Parc de Paris, Maple Bay, and City Park. Basically, they take all 3 of those courses. They take 3 holes from each course, a par 4, a par 5, and then a par 3. They combine them together to create what we have here at the Skyline Cup Tournament. Hole number 1, as you can see, is Parc de Paris. It's a par 4. Hole number 2, Parc de Paris. It's a par 3. Hole number 3, we start with a Maple Bay, and it's our first par 5. Hole number 4 is Maple Bay, a par 3. Hole number 5, Maple Bay, a par 4. Hole number 6, then we have a City Park, hole 5. Hole number 7, City Park, hole 3. Hole number 8, a City Park, hole 4. And then we end it with another Parc de Paris, hole number 9, and that's a par 5. You may ask, where can I play these holes? Where can I practice these holes? Unfortunately, the only place that you can play these holes if you're a rookie from the first tee is Tour 6, and the only holes that you can play will be the City Park holes. If you play in the Pro and the Expert, currently at this time, there are no tours that you can play these holes on from the second tee. Will that change come Thursday? There's definitely a possibility of it, but there is no information about that in any of the information that Playdemic has released at this point. So definitely I would say stay tuned, keep your eyes out to the Playdemic Facebook page and also their Twitter page, and maybe they will release some of these holes and some of these other tours. But currently at this present moment, there is nowhere to find these holes from the second tee. So that's kind of a little bit of a letdown. I think it's a good, for these people that are playing these tournaments to be able to practice them a little bit. And currently, the rookies can only practice the holes from one of the 3 courses. So rookie, pro, and expert kind of really got the shaft so far here in this tournament setup. Now, if you are playing it from the third tee, you can find these holes on Tour 11. At one point, I think all 3 of these courses were on Tour 11, but now only 2 of them are, Parc de Paris and Maple Bay. The City Park is not available on that tour anymore. But like I said, come Thursday, maybe Playdemic will make some changes to what courses are on what tours. So definitely keep that in mind when you do wake up on Thursday. Check to see if there's any kind of update to the game. And I would definitely recommend to go into the game and check those tours and see what courses are for each tour. Definitely a possibility that they could change some of the orders of what courses are on what tours. We'll have to wait and see till Thursday for that, because that's when they historically will make those changes, if they make them. Okay, so we're going to look at these holes just a little bit here. We're not going to get really into like great detail on these, but we are going to look at them just a little bit here. This is hole number 1 for the course, and this is Parc de Paris. This is a par 4, and this is definitely a very interesting hole. Some people will play the shot where they just lay it up here to the right side and then make their second shot towards the green with a long iron or something like that. That's one way they can play this hole, and you can play that drive with either extra mile. You can probably play it even with like a quarterback or something like that. Now, depending on what kind of a wind we get, we may have some sort of a possible power curl shot here, or we land it somewhere in here with the full top spin and some left spin, where we bounce it over the water and try to roll it up into this zone right here for a straight in min iron shot, to the green, maybe a thorn or a hornet shot to the green. That's definitely a possibility. But like I said, it really just depends on what kind of wind we get for the tournament, which we won't know till Monday. But those are definitely 2 possible ways to play this hole, for sure. All right, let's move on. Hole number 2. We got a par 3 here. This hole is pretty commonly played, if you're playing in the lower divisions, where you bounce it somewhere in here up towards the hole. It's a pretty straightforward hole for the rookies. You play it with the long iron. If you're playing this one from the second tee or even the third tee, I think you play this one pretty much with the sniper, where you can either bounce it farther back here in the fairway, or you can land it up in this zone as well here. And you're going to be most likely playing this shot with a pretty good, decent amount of backspin for this shot. And like I said, it just really depends on what kind of a wind that we do get for this hole. But rookies, usually pretty straightforward wind. Use backspin, aim it pretty closely at the hole, and you have a really good chance at an ace. As far as the higher divisions, they historically will give us kind of a weird side wind that really does complicate this hole a little bit more and makes it quite interesting. Usually a tough ace in the higher divisions for sure. All right, let's see. Hole number 3 here. This hole right here, you can play it, from any of these tees, first tee, second tee, where you play it up the left-hand side. You're going to bounce it right here just before the rough. You'll bounce over the rough, and then you roll up to this area. From there, then you will take your second shot where you land before this rough line, bounce it over the rough, and then roll it up to the green. Possible albatross chance right there, and that would be most likely like an extra mile driver, big dog second shot for the rookie. Higher divisions, you can probably go with Guardian or a sniper for that second shot, and may possibly need to use a little bit higher of a power ball as well. The other option is going to be playing the quarterback or the rock, where you're going to play a curl shot. You'll land it somewhere in this zone right here with a lot of right curl and right spin and top spin. You try to roll it up this right-hand side to somewhere up near the front of that little fairway section. Definitely don't use too much topspin, because you can roll through and off the edge. That's definitely not a good thing to do. From there, in my opinion, the best second shot is going to be with your sniper. You land it somewhere in this zone right here, and then you will bounce it up and over, and then roll it hopefully out for a possible albatross attempt right there, albatross chance right there. Moving on, hole number 4, par 3. This hole right here, you can play either a shot where you bounce it off the fairway here towards the green. You can play a rough bump where you bounce it off the rough towards the green. Some people play the rough bump right here towards the green, and then some people even will play a more of a bounce shot over here towards the hole. And those are just all different ways that I've seen this hole played on different tournaments. Which way will be the best way to play? I think a lot of that is going to depend on what kind of a wind we have. I think a lot of times people, like to play this rough bump right here, but I last tournament enjoyed playing the shot right here. I think it was with like the B-52 or the Goliath, from a little bit higher level, competition for sure. If you're playing in the rookie, you definitely could go with either of those methods as well. Just depends on what clubs you have and how leveled up they may be. All right, next hole here is hole number 5, par 4 here. You can play your shot off the island here, trying to roll your shot up into the fairway, and then from there you have most likely a long iron towards the pin. If you don't want to play it that way, you can try to play your shot with some sort of a power curl shot from the higher divisions, where you land your shot in here. And then from there you would bounce, and then hopefully your second bounce will be somewhere in there, and it'll bounce over towards the green. I felt that was a very inconsistent way to play this hole last time. You didn't know if the ball was going to go in the water short or if it was going to roll long past the green and into the rough. It just was a very inconsistent way to play this hole, and a majority of the reason why is because that fairway section right there was very bumpy, so you had a very inconsistent bounce right there. In the higher level divisions, a lot of people started playing a shot where they actually flied over all of this. Let me see if I can get this back here. Where they flied over all of this right here, and they were landing their shots in here with backspin, and then trying to get the shot to stop here up in the front section of this fairway. And then from there, you had a very nice short iron shot to the green for a possible eagle that way. And a lot of people were playing the hole that way as well later on in the week that I remember. Alright, next hole here is hole number 6. This is a par 5. This hole right here, it's a pretty straightforward hole. You can either play it to the left side here, which is more of the conservative route. Definitely not the way to play the hole if you want a chance at the albatross. Or you can play it to the right side, where you're bouncing your shot right in there to the left side of that bunker. Then using topspin and right curl, you're bouncing it over the rough and then rolling it down here to the edge of this fairway. From there, then you have a second shot with sniper or guardian towards the hole, a couple bounces, and then a shot at rolling that one in for the albatross. If you do play the shot to the left side, you could possibly go for that island, but it's going to probably require some sort of an overpower shot. And as you can see, the angle just isn't good. You really want that straight angle from the right side to give you a really good chance at that albatross attempt. Playing it left and then trying to play that same shot, as you can see, it's more of a slanted angle to the left, so it's definitely not as good of a chance for that shot. You may not be able to make that shot, so you may have to play your shot left here and try to roll your shot up to this zone right here for a chip chance toward the hole if you play it to the left side as well. All in all, trying to figure out that shot to the right is definitely the best way to play this hole. Alright, hole number 7 here is another par 3. This is a par 3 that we've had many different times. You can try to play a shot off this section right here towards the hole. You can try to play a shot to the right side here, where you play it up the slope and then let it feed back down to the hole as well. Some people play their shot from down in this zone right here up towards the hole. And just so many different ways to attack this hole, and depending on what division you're playing in and what kind of a wind we have may definitely help us decide on which way is the best way to play this hole. And some people even play, a max backspin shot, or they will, spin the shot off the back edge of this ridge and try to get it back to the hole. So it's a hole that's been around for a while, so there's lots of different methods to this hole. And like I, said, more than likely it comes down to what wind we have, and that will help determine which way is best to play this hole to get the possible ace. This is definitely a tough ace hole, I would say. Alright, so we got hole number 8 here, par 4. Tough par 4. You're not going to see a lot of eagles here from this par 4. The straight method would be to play your shot straight up the left-hand side of this fairway, bounce it right here, try to roll it either to this section right here or this area right here in the lower divisions, and then from there you're going to have a big dog shot towards the green. You'll have to bounce it right here in front of that rough line, bounce it off this little slope, and then towards the hole. All in all, very tough hole to get the eagle on. In some cases, lower division wise, you just want to make sure that you do get the birdie. If you're playing in higher level divisions, you're definitely trying to get to this section right here, whether it be a straight on shot where you bounce it here and hop it over here, or some people will play a power curl shot where they land it off to this zone right here and then roll it up that way towards that same circle area. And whatever wind we get can definitely determine which way may be the easiest way to play that hole. There are some decent slopes on that fairway which do cause that ball to bounce which way or that, which can bring that bunker into play, and also this bunker into play if you use too much topspin on the shot. There are some people who just really all out go for the shot with a power 5 ball and try to blast it down to this zone right here. In my opinion, it's more of a dangerous shot to make, but if you feel comfortable attempting that shot, then definitely that is something to think about, is trying to get that shot down there as well. You just have a very narrow area to run that ball through and to hit that spot. But if you do get there, you have a very nice second shot towards the green. If you can get to this first landing area here, you're most likely going to have a fairly nice shot towards the green as well, most likely with a higher level sniper or guardian. And that extended ball guide is really nice for the sniper here on this hole. Gives you a chance at the possible eagle. Yeah, I just said it, the possible eagle. Hole number 9, our last and final hole here. For the rookies, you're most likely going to be bouncing your shot somewhere off of this front left of the first fairway, and you're going to bounce here and try to shoot your shot through and up into this zone right here. From there, you will then have a second shot with your big dog, where you'll land it somewhere in this zone right here with top spin and right spin. Try to bounce over that rough and then towards the green that way. That's the way you're most likely going to play it in the rookie. You can also play that way in the pro and the expert as well, although the winds are usually a little bit more favorable in the higher divisions to try some sort of a blast shot, which is normally the way I play this hole. So you either play the shot where you try to land your ball in here and run it up to the fairway this way, or some sort of a power curl shot where you land it in this zone right here, bounce over, and then run it up into the fairway that way. All in all, you're trying to get to about the same area no matter how you play that shot, because from there, then you have a second shot where you can bypass all of that fairway and rough and take it straight to the fairway, a section right before the green right there. Sniper or the guardian play well for that shot as well. If you are a little bit less on the fairway, maybe you don't hit your drive as far, and you're not going to hit your drive as far, then that's definitely maybe more of a cataclysm shot or a big dog shot to make sure you do get to the green for that eagle. Definitely a must eagle hole, but this will definitely be a hole where you're going to see some people dropping albatrosses. It does have a nice left to right slant here to the hole for definitely some possible roll-ins for the albatross, so keep that in mind as well while you're playing this hole. Definitely, if you have a really nice wind, there's definitely more of a power curl shot from the left side as well. Not a power curl shot, or just a curl shot. But you would try to land that shot up in this zone right here and then bounce it out as well. If you do get up too far into this rough right here, you know, as long as you have a higher level Nirvana or Amazon, you will be okay to also reach to the green for your second shot. So don't let that rough area scare you. You can still reach to the green in the higher level divisions if you do mess up and just, you know, go all out and hit the drive a little bit too far. All right, y'all, that is the quick info video. Not so quick, but quick. And I'll be doing the regular guides a little bit later in the week, especially for the rookie division. We'll definitely try to get a pro expert division out. I am going camping this next weekend, so my time is kind of limited on what I can do this week as I try to prepare for our 3-day camping trip and also try to get this information out to you all. But I will do my best as always. And hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Definitely check us out on Golf Clash the 19th Hole on Facebook if you haven't done so yet. It's a great place to hang out, ask questions, learn a little bit more about the game. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to receive notifications on further videos for the tournament, make sure you check that bell so that it does alert you with any kind of new content that I release. All right, y'all take care. God bless.